Hello guys, Bibarol here. Today it's a video about Entangle, and I've seen people on forums and Reddit too talking about how immobilize become crazy in this game, and some of them complain about Ranger immobilize in specifically. I don't think immobilize in the game is really this much of a problem. The only immobile skill like immobilize that actually broken in my opinion is Thief. Thief have a lot of access immobilize that you can't really see or predict like from Thief Guild, and also the skill 2 on pistol is just there and spammable, so even if you remove it you can still be punished by hitting it again and again and you keep getting immobilized. And especially in outnumber fights that could be a problem because he just need to immobilize you and there is nothing you can do if you already wasted your removal, so everyone can just jump on you at this point. So Entangle in some people's opinion is a skill which or what they think, which won't catch you. That's it. If you remove it, it will keep resetting the immobilize again and again and again as much time as the skill is supposed to do, and you cannot remove it. But this couldn't be farther from truth. Skill, as it suggests in the description, it has direct hit and then 4 hits with a second between every time. Duration is 5 seconds for 5 hits. In every hit it delivers immobilize stack and bleed stack. So that means there is every second it bolts, and there is a whole second you can remove the condition in it while not get immobilized. So if once exactly the immobilize start, like you see the cast animation from Entangle and you didn't dodge it, so you got it, you remove and walk. It's just like that. It will not start bolting, immobilize and bleed again until the next second. If you missed the first window, like you wasn't fast enough to react, wait only to see the immobilize again and move. And you can see this even in animation. If you're zoomed a little bit, like from this far you could little bit miss it, but if you're like this, for example, you will see the roots around your feet moving up and down every time they bolt. You see that? This is the movement I'm talking about. As you saw in this section, Entangle doesn't even affect with quickness. My sister here was using quickening zephyr as a skill to give it to me, but it still will pulse only on a second. What means is it takes 5 seconds to hit balls every 1 second from the first initial attack, and then balls every other second. And if you have quickness, this will not be halved. The time will still be 5 seconds because the roots act on their own. They are the ones who give in the damage. But the bleed and immobilize are affected by condition duration from you, by your action. If you have higher condition duration, then or bleed duration, then the number is going to be up. If you have immobilize for extra seconds, then it will be more. But it will always be 5 seconds. As you see here, you see how it moves? I can simply walk and it's still there because I removed the condition, which removes the immobilize and bleed, simply before the next pulse. So it would need this movement upward, as you see, this is pulsing effect that it do, to apply the immobilize again. It doesn't simply, when you remove it do it. It reset every second. So you can simply remove the condition, like the immobilize, and walk right through it. Not a problem. And if you're rangers that have, or like a warrior that movement skill would simply get you out of, then it's so easy to just like using lightning reflexes, you would just dodge backward and you'll be out of it. If you have quickness, like quickening zephyr, super speed, you can walk out of it even when it bolts. It's extremely difficult to mess this up. If you have super speed while moving the condition, like if you're a ranger, you could use something like quickening zephyr and just walk through without even looking at the animation when it kind of gonna bolts or not. You can simply just walk through because super speed will move you so fast, you will not be really caught with immobilize again. So those two conditions, or stun breaks for and condition removal for ranger, lightning reflexes, and quickening zephyr work amazingly great against something like entangle. And even if you're a Soulbeast using something like Doliac stance, it will prevent the skill from applications immobilize, which make ranger one of the best classes actually to remove the immobilize from entangle. So does every class that have complete movement that it make it leave the immobilize, like warrior, revenant if they're running the trait, thief because of withdrawal or that heal skill that make him remove those kind of conditions. But every other class, simply by removing condition and walk before it apply, can simply get out of entangle. And this is why I don't think entangle is a really powerful skill or anything, or one of the or overpowered at all, because the roots also have their own life bar. They have health. They can be it can be destroyed. And this is another detail. If you stuck in it, you don't even have to remove the condition. If you're playing like berserker build or something that have really high damage, you can destroy it before you even get past the second tick of bleed and immobilize. But as you see, they are not hittable by projectile weapon, and this is another problem that some people would not like about this skill, that you can hit it only with a cleave weapon. Even if you target the entangle, you cannot hit it with projectile weapon. Do I think this is fair, or does it need to change? I don't think it needs to change, because people who get entangled while they have like a ranger with a longbow, he already can hit you and can do a lot of damage. He already can remove the condition. Simply if he removed the first tick, he can walk out of it. It's not this powerful at all. So why even make him able to make projectile hit it, to destroy it immediately and then turn for new? And even worse, projectiles, most weapons like longbow, can pierce. So that means they will hit you and entangle. So this skill will be completely pointless. An X2 from a ranger would completely finish the entire health bar of the roots, and you will be left with an elite skill that literally doesn't work. So I don't think that need to change. I think this is completely fair and makes sense. There's no other way around it, because if we did this, like I said, the skill will be useless. So not even this kind of weapon can hit it, as you see. As you see, I don't even have to target it. I can destroy it simply by cleaving, because the weapon have a range of 130. So anything close to that range will be hit. So you don't even have to retarget or anything. You simply have to hit, even with auto attack, or with your big hits if they can attack around you. As you see, they cannot even be affected by something like slow or anything. So the 1 second cooldown will still be 1 second every time. The interval, it doesn't change. It didn't affect by the slow from my healing skill or get anything out of that. As you see, I had sharpened stone and triggered the hits, completely gone, but it didn't take any of them. And that could be considered one of the problems of Entangle, but I don't think it is actually. I think it's completely fair. So let's talk about this part. Entangle cannot be destroyed by condition. Since if you are a condition player, you have no chance of simply cleaving through it. A power player can literally destroy it with one hit if they have enough damage. So how this is fair? If we made Entangle can be destroyed by condition, it will be destroyed the moment it appears, especially in group fights. Once it catches a player between all other players, scourges putting down their stuff, mesmers using staff, traps of ranger, whatever, it will be completely obliterated so fast it wouldn't even do anything to anyone. Power, however, doesn't happen predictably. Like, it doesn't have the field burning everything and oh, by luck Entangle is gone. Power have to hit, but still enough power damage can destroy Entangle so easy that it become again almost irrelevant, or only trigger one hit of immobilize and that's it. So I think it would make more sense if we made it doesn't affect by both. That would make it more powerful, and technically it's a huge buff to the skill. But I don't think it's a big deal since the skill can be condition removed. I accept it as it is. I don't think this is a weak point or whatever. It's just maybe an opinion, or I'm not really good at balancing stuff this much, but hear me out on this. This skill, like I said, can be removed and walk away from. Can be removed super speed and walk away without even calculating. There is many things that can be done with it. So if we're gonna keep it at least that need to be destroyed, then at least it's fine. Most of the damage doesn't destroy it immediately. So I think it is in a good situation, or more balanced this way, but I don't think it should be affected by condition at all. This will be horrible, because I saw this suggestion before and I'm not agreeing with it. And as you see, this is damage of someone that, well, not that much effect, and still I can destroy it pretty easily. I got only 3 ticks of bleed, and my sister using actually the Kite rune, so I don't think she even triggered more than 2 hits of Entangle itself, and I don't have this much damage. This is my BVB gear right now. I'm Berserker with Divinity rune, so, and as you see, this rune sigil doesn't really help. Here it again, you see, I got 1 bleed stack from the Kite rune, 2 bleed stack from Entangle, so there was still 3 bulls that I didn't even take. So that means I destroyed technically in about 2 seconds. Was not the highest damage you can even have. I'm using a bit that give me vitality, not even power or anything. And this is BVB, so you have even lower damage in BVB. If you're in World versus World, that would be destroying it after 1 second, probably. Only 1 second. So this skill, not a stun like Chill to the Boon or Prime Light Beam, it's an unblockable immobilize that doesn't trigger 5 seconds or 10 seconds of immobilize immediately. It gives you ways other than cleanse. You can cleanse it and you can walk from it simply if you're like a warrior, or cleanse it and walk from it. You can destroy it with damage. So there is many options to fight Entangle, and it's not only condition cleanse, it's not only resistance, it's multiple ways around it. And for an elite skill, think about it, this is not really that much. It doesn't have a damage something like Blade Gland, or even half of it. It doesn't have a stun and give you stability like Chill to the Boon. Let's even compare it with the Wills of Chronomancer. There is multiple elite skills that have serious value, and Entangle only immobilize and people can simply be removed. I think what make it a little bit fair is a low cooldown, but as you see, it is not this powerful of a skill. As you see in this section, I told my sister to use Sharpened Stone. Every hit from Entangle didn't use to do that much damage. Like it would only give you the bleed, it wouldn't trigger something like Sharpened Stone. But when they adjusted Sharpened Stone to make it dodgeable, blockable, blindable, stuff like this, and it can miss, they also changed Entangle, the time period when it had a bug in it. But it's becoming to give count as a hit, so it would trigger something like Sharpened Stone. It would trigger, if you're a beast, it would trigger something like the weakness. It would trigger something like the poison and dagger, the bleed on short bow 4, and the poison and dagger 2. It would trigger whatever effect you have on you that would do condition. So that's another break to it. And since we're talking about it, I would say to use other stuff. Or tell you other details. Sharpened Stone can hit from stealth. It will have mind on her own. It doesn't need a target. 600 radius around you. It will hit even if the thief stealth. Doesn't matter. It's unblockable, and it also cannot be blinded. If I'm heaven blind, and let's say my sister here, just an enemy standing, when I trigger this, I would still hit her through a blind, but you will lose the first tick of damage. So the entangle appear, like I said, it had mind of her own. The roots are not blinded, you are, but you hit with the roots. So the first tick will lose the damage. After that, all the hits were hit normally. I hope you found this video informative, and give it a like, share it with your buddies who hate immobilize in World vs. World especially, and consider subscribing, and I will be seeing you next time.